A jury of Appear by Susan Glaspell tells the story of two women, Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Peters. They accompanied their husbands to the Wrights' farmhouse to investigate John Wright's murder. While men dismissively searching for evidence, the women observing small details in the home that reveals Minnie Wright's silent suffering.
The woman noticed a broken birdcage and eventually discovered a dead canary with its neck wrung. They realized that the bird was likely Minnie's only source of joy in her isolated life, and its death at the hand of her oppressive husband pushed her to retaliate. The man overlooks these clues, but the woman pieced together this emotional abuse that Minnie endured.
Through subtle symbolism and a quiet observation, the story highlights themes of gender roles, domestic abuse, and the unspoken bond between women. Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Peters became Minnie's jury, silently understanding and emphasizing with her actions in a way the men never could. The story reminds us of the importance of empathy and the hidden struggles many face.
So, hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss the story A Jury of Our Peers. And our guests are and
Josiah.
So let's start with questions. What topics the reading passage A Jury of Our Peers cover?
So, in my opinion, Jury of Appears covers a really important topic, even nowadays, 21st century, and it's changed not a lot. Women still don't have rights. Like, if they have, it's not enough to them, because even nowadays, women face domestic abuse, and there are some stereotypes that people think that we should be at the kitchen, cooking, caregiving, mothering, but girls can do more than men think.
Yes, I think so too. To give an example, in the A Jury of Your Peers, there are like traditional roles implemented to women and men. Women have to like do housework and to take care of the husband and not pursue her dreams as Mrs. Wright. She dreamed of being a singer, but she couldn't. She faced it with disapproval of her husband, which affected fatal death. I think conflict. So it's clearly something women face it at that time and still faces right now. That's my opinion. I clearly approve your statement.
Yeah, let's go to the second question now. In your opinion, do you think something has changed through the years about women's rights? Is there a comparison between 2 centuries?
Did you hear about Korea's Women University? The issue they're facing right now. So the problem is that the government is implementing co-educational, including males to the university. The university is for only women, but they're going to include men too. But deep down, the problem is that professor harassed the student. It is really shocking. So, being in safe place, it is only for women, the university, I mean, and your voice is ignored, and it is about, not about the gender, it is about the rights of humanity. Still, through decades, we still face these issues, and I can't really say that something has changed through hundreds of years. Even in Kazakhstan, we face such as situations, and domestic abuse. I mean, like A Jury of Her Peers, and also, and I think the women who have unalived their husbands because to protect themselves are deserve justice. I think so, because it's not their fault. They face it with such as horrible thing, and they really need to take care of and not get like on jail.
So the story happened in 1917, and now it's 2024, and this problem is a global problem, not only in Kazakhstan. And I think it's changing, but very slowly, and the new generation is understanding the value of rights, especially nowadays at like we are now 17, and if you ask some man, some boy about our rules, he will give answer properly, but not all of them. Like it's divided into 50-50.
Yeah, two sides.
Yeah, but I think something is changing. But in the future, women will be more stronger than the men, and they will be like protecting their rights.
Yeah, you're clearly right.
As you remember, in our interview, boys were divided into two groups. Some believed that women are housekeepers and should not pursue a career, while others believed that was a stereotype. This shows how perspectives on gender roles have evolved over time. Speaking of such issues, do you know more stories related to this story about domestic abuse and women's rights in our culture?
So we have many of them. In fact, Kazakh intelligence covered this topic at that time, and I think especially the Bakht Jamal by Mirza Abdullah covers well this story, like this issue. And to tell the story shortly, there is a girl named Jamal. She was a wise, smart girl from young age, and as we know from Kazakh culture, the parents engage the children, so she gets like engaged to aggressive men who have small brain. And to mention that Jamal could sing as well as Minnie, but she couldn't persuade that her dream as well. And at that time, she fell in love with someone else, so they decide to run away. But unfortunately, the man she fell in love dies, and she returns to the man whom she got engaged, and there starts the abuse from his side. And at the end, she dies, which is not like the thing we expected. And this shows that many of Kazakh stories covered this issue over a decade ago, or like a century ago, and still we face this issue nowadays.
Okay, I'm totally agree with Tokjan, and even at that time in the early centuries, there were a lot of that type of stories, and it proves that even at that time it was a really popular topic to cover. And there are more stories like Kızılbek, Bayan Sulu, and Kız Körpeş, and Şahanın Belgisi, Ulpan. I want to say about Ulpan. It's Ulpan, I guess, yeah. So the story about the girl at our age, and the parents decided to get her married to the person that really older, like at 68 maybe. It's yeah, it's awful. So when she turned 30, I guess, the man died, and she was the face of her village. She helped everyone. She was like a president. She solved every problem, and she helped everyone, even she was alone. And I think that proves that women can be a role model. Women can rule the city, rule the village, and that says a lot about women's power. And in our Kazakh stories, there are a lot of topics about it, and they all like ended sadly. And also about the marriage, when women do not decide like with who she wants to get married, and all of the people around her thinks that the mission of the girls is to marry got a children and then be a mother, caregiving, cooking, and but nowadays it changed a lot, and I think it's improving through years.
Okay, girls, thank you for your answers today. It was really meaningful and a thought-provoking discussion, and thank you for your attention.